Hello, and welcome to another fun week in the world of crypto. Promises to be quite a chaotic week. I think, as we were speaking beforehand, it's everything's building up for Wednesday. It feels like not only the last couple of weeks, but I think we've had pretty much 6 or 7 months building up to Wednesday. So it's time for some chaos to be unleashed. It feels.
Yeah, it's a weird because if you look at the stock market. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, the stock market's clearly front running this. I'll send you an article in a minute, or later on, that I was reading this morning, and the general gist of it was that 3 times in history the market has gone up. Was it 30% in 5 months? Let me read the article to you. Let's find it. So it says since 1975, there's only been 6 times where the S&P 500 rose by more than 30% or more in the 5-month period. 2025 is one of those times. Every single time that has happened, the S&P has ended higher in the following 6 to 12 months. So that, I'll send you the article if you want it, Liz. So that kind of coincides where I'm thinking the top of the crypto market is going to be. I think a lot of people are still going October and done. My view has been for a while now that we are 1 to 2 quarters behind of the normal cycle. So I thought it was going to run into at least Q1, if not Q2. So also looking at the bond stuff, as we've done before, and some of the other markers I look at, that hasn't triggered yet to say that there's going to be a potential downturn in the market. So everything seems to line up for me, and I think that we have at least 2 more impulse legs on all coins. If you look at like Elliott wave theory and stuff like that, it should be a lot of the, obviously Bitcoin's a bit different, but you look at most alts or the large cap alts, the ones that have done well, they've already completed 1 or 2 legs. Whereas most alts are at all-time lows, so they should technically have at least 2, if not 3 impulse legs. So
yeah,
I'd like to be right in this occasion because that means that we will have a positive alt season. But the stock market to me feels like it's front run the news, whereas crypto hasn't. So I expect the week to be wild, and I have kept some cash on the sidelines ready to deploy should we get a bloody nose at some point.
Yeah, it does feel slightly positive. I think it's interesting because we are technically in an alt season. I know, contrary to what you read on crypto Twitter, we're not, but others has broken above where that sort of magical line, and there's some stuff that is doing really well. Like we're seeing certain moves, and it feels like it's the new type of alt season where stuff that makes revenue and stuff that has genuine application outside of sort of the crypto ecosystem is potentially doing well. Obviously, you've got Pump Fund doing well. From a robotics point of view, I think we're seeing a lot more movement in there. I know I've got there's 3 or 4 Deepin tokens that I own that have all done sort of 30% in the last few days. It feels like there's energy there. It'll be interesting to see how it sustains. Obviously, we had the obscene strength in Solana last week that carried on into the weekend. I think we're seeing a little bit of a cooling off of that.
It pumped perfectly into my liquidity zone that I had marked out. So you would have seen in some of the other groups that we're in that I was posting some nice Solana shorts. Every time it was just going into that liquidity, I was pressing the red button every time. And then I've had a couple of really nice shorts on Ethereum as well. I'm actually starting to build a couple of longs on things.
Okay.
So it's we'll see if we get, because there's no news today.
No.
It would just be interesting to see Wednesday. I think it's all about Wednesday.
Yeah. It's building up to Wednesday.
I expect pure violence. Hopefully in the right direction, but I'm prepared for both up or down. I've got, I'd say, cash ready to go. If it goes down, fine. If it goes up, then
up.
Fine. Yeah. It's just I'm not really bothered.
We've got. So what have we got tomorrow? We've got core retail sales tomorrow, and then on Wednesday is Wednesday's the big one, isn't it?
Yes.
We've got some UK data this week as well.
Well, obviously Trumpy's over, isn't he? To visit our fair shores. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, there's a lot of tech firms that have already pledged to spend lots of money over here, some money over here.
Yeah, and some that are being dragged over. I saw AstraZeneca has fallen foul of the Trump tariffs, hasn't it? Yeah. They've been advised to move investment that was in the UK over to the US.
Yes. Gentle
advice. Yeah, advice being loose.
Have you seen the China Nvidia thing this morning as well?
Yeah. But I thought that would be the case. It's interesting, and it's I've spoken about it with Dave a little bit on his stream about I've started building some positions in some Chinese companies. I think we over the next 3 or 4 years see China really start to catch up when it comes to the semiconductors and the chips.
Yeah.
Particularly sort of building them in house. I think it feels like, I don't know, because I never know where I stand on. Obviously, when Trump was banning the export of the chips, of the Nvidia chips, it feels like they've just landed on a weird scenario where he's like, right, we'll as long as you give us some revenue from it, we'll allow it. But it feels like the Chinese now, after that shock, will now just work heaven and earth to backward engineer anything that goes onto their shores.
Yeah, probably. It's again, a lot of this stuff I take with a complete pinch of salt because I think it's all manipulated. I think that they leak these stories out. I've not got tinfoil hat on today, but I think it's leaked out. Is it manipulating the share price? Is it leading to other talks with China? Because aren't there further talks with China and the US this week as well?
Yeah.
Feels. I mean, if out of left field there is something with these tariffs that go, or the threat of tariffs with Russia. Or Russian oil to kind of bring them to the table. If that suddenly miraculously causes a ceasefire or end of war, the fact you look at all of the speculative assets that have just not had the capital rotation, all coins, or majority of all coins, it would just be unbelievable fuckery. It's just the marrying up the timelines, FOMC, war ending, alt season, all the kind of bits that you like, the component parts. It would just be comical, but not unexpected at the same time. It's really quite funny to kind of see it potentially unfold that way. But it feels close. I'm just still not overly convinced it's just going to go green candle crazy.
No.
I would not be, from a charting perspective, pure TA, it would make sense for it to pump into, like if you look at Bitcoin, if you want to grab the Bitcoin chart up, on the day, for it to pump back in, let me just quickly look at mine, pump back into that daily range we have between 117.4 and 120-ish, so under 120.
Yeah, in here.
Yeah, pump back into that range. Nuke, whipsaw down into the, where did I have marked out? I had marked out 100, between 109.5 and 110.1.
Oh, yeah. So this bit under here, just under these two candles.
Yeah.
So filling in this area here.
Yeah. My little favourite, affectionately known Justin zones. So that's, and then V-shape the hell out of it.
Yeah.
As a break of range. Just as a, that's the kind of thing that I can just see happening. Because I don't know, I don't look at heat maps and stuff like that because I think it's largely manipulated and nonsense. But I wonder, in that scenario, how much high leverage it would take out the market. I don't even, like I say, I've not looked at that kind of thing for a long time.
No.
Because,
I think there's probably quite a lot in this region here as well.
Yeah.
Because you'll have had a lot of people who will have longed down here.
Yeah.
In the hope that once you sort of broke above here, you sort of had an element of relevant safety.
Yep. So that's the. If it gets down that low, I would definitely bid there.
Yeah.
Like the plays that I'm doing, I'm looking for 1 to 2% moves, as you know, that how I trade a lot of the time on crypto, especially in these kind of phases and on the larger assets. 1 to 2% moves, nothing crazy. Going to the liquidity zones, it's just quite easy to save trades, or relatively safe trades, shall I say. No such thing as fully safe, but probability-wise, I just can't see us not taking out both sides.
No.
Knowing how we normally break range on stuff, it'll be the intended move, which will be up, or it should be up. It'll be up, down, up to be able to push out the range.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see on the weekly, like the patterns that we previously had before this move up. Big liquidation there. You sort of had the big liquidation here.
Yep.
That happened slightly before, because this move we didn't really get a big liquidation before the move.
Yeah, well,
that was a few weeks before.
Was that candle in?
That was the Japan. Yeah, that was the Japan.
Yeah, the BOJ, wasn't it? Stuff. Yeah. That was the liquidation, and then we had the retest. Obviously, that was a couple of weeks later than that, and then it just didn't stop from there. Yeah,
that's probably your liquidation wick there.
Yeah,
that one. And then push up. That one there. That one there. So it feels like this would be an optimal zone to come down, grab some fuel, and then in terms of upward targets, where do you? I know you sort of shared some of the more private suggestions, but like, where do you see potentially this moving up to in the next leg?
My view, I'd need to look at my chart. Hold on. Get my USD. I still got a box on there. I might have got rid of it. I would I'm thinking from here, measuring the moves, I can see anywhere from, if you go from the base of this range, the lows around 109 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
If you measure that from the base, I can see somewhere between 20% gets us. Yeah, I would say 20% gets us to just under 130. Somewhere between that and 30%. So I think between 130 and 140.
Yeah.
Not financial advice. Not spiritual guidance. Yeah. That would just be, it would look right if you compare it to the other kind of legs up.
Yeah.
But I can quite easily see that extend as well with to 150, 160. It could extend. So I'm not 100% convinced on it. But it looks around about right.
Yeah, because I had on mine my target marked out at 153. So I had there as a spot.
Oh, there you go. So we correlate once again with. Yeah. It feels about right.
Yeah, definitely.
And then that would coincide probably with Ethereum. I'm looking towards probably 6,000. Let me just get the correct chart up. ETH. Looks like I've accidentally wiped some of my charts out, which is really clever. So yeah, I can see if we get above 5,000, it'll go 6,000 quite quickly, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
That would again be my hopes, dreams, and aspirations. So 6,000. So that would be from the base of the deepest pullback we've had. That's circa 47% up.
Yeah.
And again, just looking on a weekly, kind of filled in there, leave that gap. Yeah, that's kind of the move I'm thinking. Something along those lines. So a similar length leg. If you look from the base of the week of the 28th of July to the top of this leg, I reckon similar kind of length move to that.
Yeah. So here. Yeah. That lines up. Yeah, it's quite exciting.
Yes. I mean, it could go down to zero. I mean,
could come and fill in this fair value gap here. Also, this fair value gap here, and this one here.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't buy it. I think when we have the impulse moves, it's very rare that these ever get filled in. I think we've spoken about that before. The Bitcoin one is exactly the same. You don't tend to get the chance to do this.
No, you can't let people get cheap entries, basically.
No.
And then Solana. I mean, my Solana liquidity pocket was just amazing.
Oh, it was perfect. I've been rinsing that. I had a nice shot.
We was obviously discussing it in the Discord group, wasn't we?
Yeah. I had a little play around with it on the on Friday. I had quite a nice play around with it. I was on the golf course and I did. I had a nice shot from 241 And then I topped up at 244, rode down, and then I had one at 246. But yeah, Solana's interesting though. I think where do you see this going now? Obviously, this has had its unbelievable run. Do you think we pull down, consolidate, and push higher and take out potentially some of this area up here?
Once we close weekly above 254, this thing's just going to rip, I think. And it will go 300 at least, I'd imagine.
Take out this area here.
Yeah, but I can also see it going to 360 to 380. Just as a
nice 50% upward move.
Just again, you're close to round numbers. You're measuring the similar kind of moves that correlate with Bitcoin and stuff like that.
And they'll definitely. I can imagine there being a lot of fuckery around this wick.
The thing is that wick is obviously if you look generally on the weekly and you basically put a line across from the weekly closes from November and then January and then back all the way left, it's just everything above that is just liquidity.
Yeah.
Basically. Anything north above that is just pure. That's your gain level. It's one of the very easiest charts to look at and go level to gain there. But what I suspect will happen is any kind of liquidity that's there, or the liquidity that is there in the short, that's on the short side, we won't even knob around. I think we'll blast past it, and then we fill that in when we pull back.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
And then so that's kind of, and then some of the more comedy coins over the last couple of weeks, you look at the ones that have been delisted from Binance, so Hi-Fi, Bake, and Self-Chain.
Yeah, I love Bake. That was my simple signal.
The thing is that the really hilarious thing, they obviously, this is an exit pump. This is the pre-exit pump because it gets delisted on FOMC. So I'd assume they get delisted, they'll get rebranded, and then they'll get maybe not even rebranded, they'll get relisted again in like a few weeks' time. But I think if you look at Hi-Fi, you look at Self-Chain, they've all kind of done the same thing.
Yeah, same pattern. Yeah, and then like you say, refreshed launch of a new chart. So
it's the comedy show, isn't it? It's really quite tragic in a way.
Yeah, it's the world in which we live in.
It's fine. It is what it is. But this is the complain. But like you had there on Bake, buy here, sell there. We are going to get into the point where most alts will start doing these kind of moves.
Yeah,
and they will have pullbacks at some point. So what other uses have I looked at?
And it goes back to the setting your sell limit orders. I can't stress that to people enough. Just set your sell limit orders, so then you're not going to get the chance to look, see it, deposit into an exchange, and be able to sell it. You've just got to set some orders and be a little bit brutal, and then take some of the cash.
So what have you got
red here?
This next leg, then, Wes? What
what's this? Sorry, what have I got? What tickers have I got for the next leg?
Yeah, what your hopes, dreams, and aspirations?
I'd like to see I'd like to see some of my alt bags start to move. Well,
but my alt bags have moved quite well, but in the wrong direction.
I've had some good ones though recently, and I started taking some out. So obviously this one, I mentioned this to Dave. I'd had this one for a while. Peak. This has moved, so I trimmed off some up here. I had some sell orders on this monthly and on this pink.
Yeah.
I still quite like it, so I'll probably look for entries again back down here.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's obscene.
The thing is, Pump Fun. You think of how much money that he made.
Yeah, they were always going to pump the life out of it.
They can really manipulate the charts, right? So it stands to reason that this is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also the money they've raised is one thing.
Yeah.
The money that they've been making over the last 18 months is also contributed to that. Like they've been one of the biggest sellers of Solana pretty much in the entire crypto world, including VCs. Like they've had unholy amounts.
Yeah, they accumulated a lot, didn't they?
Yeah. There's a few tickers that I quite like, but it's like it's the spot stuff. I like Berachain. I think this chart looks quite interesting, as it sort of works its way through here. What else? This is one. I bit the bullet and I made an account just so on the exchange, just so I could buy some of this. I started buying some of it in this region here whenever it pulls back.
Yeah.
Just in case they do, because this is still only, I think, like 6 or 7 million market cap.
Do you think, just kind of go back off track slightly, do you think when Solana actually breaks out again, that will have impact on the meme world again? Or do you think it's...
I'm not sure. And I say that because I think we're seeing the real divergence in institutional money, and institutional money, whilst it buys crypto, doesn't necessarily end up on chain. The Solana treasury companies, for instance, it'll pump the price of Solana up, but they're not buying anything on Solana. No. They're barely even using anything on Solana DeFi. It's not like they'll be using even sort of Radium or some of the DeFi protocols to even buy it. They'll buy it either OTC off a market maker, or they'll just use a Coinbase Prime or whatnot to just buy what they need to do. It's and then similarly, when you have a lot of the American investors in the exchange products, I think I've said this before to Spud, but they're not going to end up on chain. Somebody who buys a Solana ETF or a Bitcoin ETF inside their 401k isn't going to take it out of their 401k, put it into a Phantom wallet, load up Dex Screener, and go, you know what? It's time to move down the risk curve. It's, I think we'll see the meme coin stuff have a last hurrah.
Yeah.
But it'll be more towards end of cycle, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But I think depending on the bull run we have, I think it could go nuts. I think it'll go nuts again at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get Solana at if Solana topped out at 360, I mean, people are going to be degenerate at that. So it'll be interesting to see.
I think we've got a long way to go, personally. I mean, if you pull up the total chart,
Yeah,
I'm
back below 4 trillion again.
It's you've seen my chart with my special cut. We are literally at in my opinion, the timing. And I'll resend you the chart. I know you've definitely got it anyway.
Yeah, I've got it. I don't want to flash it up on screen.
No.
Keep that one.
Yeah, keep that one for the private chats. But if my chart's right, we are in parabolic week.
Yeah.
Which stands to reason with the
rate cuts. Yeah.
It's funny how it all transpires, but again, how much? What's the top number for the total chart? I have the next leg minimum of 5.5 trillion.
Yeah.
And depending on how far we stretch past that, you could be looking 10 to 15 trillion as the potential high for the cycle, which would be a 5x on the last cycle. Would that sound about right? If you was going to gut feel this out pre-bull run, what would you say? What would be the allocation of money into the crypto space this time around?
I think for me, like around the 6 to 7 works. I think what really for me will hinge on it is like how much flow we get out of this and into crypto. Because ultimately, like that candle there is the equivalent, pretty much. If we go on to the weekly, that candle is the entire crypto market cap.
Yes.
So how much of this will begin to come down, I think would be interesting. I don't think gold will distribute. I was saying this to someone the other day. I said I don't see a macro scenario or a scenario on the chart where this goes below 3,000, at least not for a while.
So I when I done my analysis looking at previous election, like last year when I was doing like the election stuff and the correlations of what happens post-election, normally from the highs it will have a 20 to 30% pullback. So if you went to 4,000, 20 to 30% pullback, where does that get you to?
Gets you down to about 3,000.
Exactly.
Yeah. It feels like that feels like a really strong pullback though, and I don't know. Maybe I'm reading between the lines a little bit, but I think it feels like that. I don't get even why if you got up here, there would be a need or a strong desire to start to sell allocation for gold, because I don't know what else you could buy. Because typically it would flow typically into bonds. It would go from gold to bonds to gold to bonds.
But bonds are also ready to distribute. They've probably got one more impulse, and then it'll be ready to distribute time.
I don't see why anyone in their right mind is getting tempted in by these, especially with the macro scenario we end up in. Like it just fit. I guess once you got up to here, the risk reward of 6% feels a bit more palatable. But I don't see a world where I struggle to see a world where inflation is ever really going to hold at 2% again.
Yeah.
just because we've shown that the world can't cope with borrowing rates where they are.
Nah, it
There's
is
too much debt.
The thing is, anything too high, it means sovereign default is going to happen.
Yeah.
So, looking at the pattern, that kind of ending diagonal to me says we will probably have a surge and then sell off.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
that's your basically end of your bond cycle, and then that will coincide with the stock market crashing and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And that probably lines up again, sort of from our cycle timings. Certainly from a UK perspective, you'd imagine any major move of this is going to happen in November before the budget, and it's going to front run that budget. Not really the same in the US because we've not really had that, but I think the US one is pretty much trending the same direction. Push up into here.
It's all grim, I would say, or it looks. It everything paints the picture that we are going to have a biblical bear market.
Yeah.
Or recession or whatever you want to call it. Across the board, it's going to be bad because it's unsustainable. This is unsustainable, and this to me, when you're at these levels, this is basically markets going. You have to sell these bonds at these prices, and for us to take the risk, we want blood money.
Yeah,
and it just looks like forced exchange is coming.
Yeah. This is an overwatch of the forces that be, and I think you're seeing some of this weakness leak into certainly the Mag 7. That looks. You're still looking at another push up on some of these names, aren't you?
Yes.
And I can see potentially a little bit. This one's an interesting one because obviously you had that grab there. Tesla, as we said, Tesla about front running the market. Tesla had a really aggressive breakout last week. Look at that. I didn't realize how much it was up pre-market.
Yeah.
Poor. But Tesla was always going to, once it broke that range high, and I think Meta's the same. Apple, I'm quite bearish on Apple.
Yeah. It seems like they need, because obviously they had their latest iPhone launch event or whatever it was last week. And from what the reaction was, I don't think it was necessarily that the market didn't see that interest with it.
No.
But to me, that Apple seems like it's fundamentally a good company, right? And you have got a whole cult following. Looking at the fundamentals, it looks like they need to pivot as a business and get back to innovation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the estimated worldwide governmental bond market. So it's estimated to be 133 trillion in 2022. So you don't need much of that to kind of rotate.
No. Government debt to GDP. Have you seen this new feature on TradingView? So if you go onto this bottom corner here, and click on the little dots, you have so you've got all of these. You've got yield curve options. You have macro maps where you can essentially pull the charts for whatever data you need from whatever country.
Amazing.
So you go down here and you've got all of these terrorism index, whatever that means. But yeah, you've got all of this here. I only noticed it the other day. I assume it's a new update.
Yeah.
I've not seen it, but yeah, you've got budget to GDP, and you can basically just click on whatever country you're interested in, and it'll flash up the chart for it.
Yeah, it's again. I don't want to sound pessimistic, but it's definitely incoming.
Yeah.
Budget to GDP. Was that? Oh, so you can go back on the timescales.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So you go back to there, you can see it was 1 point. In 1951, the US government debt to GDP was 1.9%.
Jesus. What is it now?
Today it is minus 6.4. That's yeah. What was the other one? Government debt to GDP. This is probably more accurate. 124.3 in January 1940. If we have a number, well, it's 51, higher than I thought it would be. But it was after the war, wasn't it, where it really started? 110.
Yeah. That's
Back to 40. UK 77. Yeah, it's a pretty. I only noticed it the other day, but it's a pretty cool little
feature.
Yeah, you can play around with.
Sure, that should be a job for me to have a little look at then. In which case,
yeah, it's just in the dots that I don't know if you can see on the screen, but on the sidebar where you've got all the dots.
Yeah.
Also the globe, but yeah, and video also looks the same.
I think all of these, they've probably got one blow off top.
Yeah.
And then an almighty nuke.
I think Google's already having its blow off top.
It looks that way, doesn't it? Did you see the news about Amazon? It looked like they're trying to implement some kind of crypto stuff within the company as well.
Ooh. No, I've not. That's interesting.
They're hiring something to do with crypto to incorporate into their, I don't know if it's payment systems or whatever.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And you'd assume they'd probably want to have some sort of system anyway, given sort of the way that they operate globally.
Yeah.
Google obviously had their announcement of they've got a layer 1 that they've made.
Yeah.
For institutions. What other stuff has stood out? Did you see Oracle?
Yeah, last week just went. Larry Ellison is now the richest man, isn't it, in the world?
Yeah. How do you reckon he celebrates becoming $90 billion richer in a day?
The thing is, I've got a little vacation plans next summer, doing some West Coast and then over to Hawaii. Do you know it's Hawaii? He owns the whole island.
Yeah.
Or 90% of it he owns.
Yeah.
It's just
it's nuts, isn't it? That's
again, some of these like the CEOs of these big companies, the ultra rich, they are now on the verge of basically being perfect James Bond villains.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous amounts of money, buying space companies, and because the other thing that's gone quiet is the whole back and forth between Musk and Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, Musk has been wading. He loves wading in on British politics, doesn't he?
Yeah, I saw he delivered a speech at. Whatever you can call the thing in the UK on Saturday.
Yes. Silent demonstration. But yeah, but that between Trump and Musk, it's gone very,
very quiet.
And again, I think that's purely theatrics.
Yeah.
To kind of divert attention away from whatever is planned.
Should be interesting. This is an interesting one, actually. I was on a final touch on it. Is I was on a Spaces for Wolf Crypto, and there was two guys on there who were all in on Galaxy, and they were showing me their research, and it's pretty. I was pretty sold by it. So I bought some. It looks quite an interesting play. Obviously, you just had that stupidly big weekly candle, so I'd be hoping if it pulls back to get another entry. But it's quite interesting the route that they've gone down, because they've got a mix of data centers and obviously the crypto element.
Yeah.
Moving down that AI route. So yeah. I find that's quite an interesting one. Certainly one that I've got my eye on.
Well, the thing is, all of the that kind of stuff is like, because he's probably not even the Mag 7 anymore, is it? There's probably Mag 9, Mag 10. Or
yeah.
I think they're including like Broadcom and stuff like that in there.
Like that. That is. I started selling some of this. I remember going on a stream with Dave and telling him that it was a really good buy around here. This was before Dave was like not obsessed with crypto, so he wasn't having any of it. But I was like, Broadcom looks pretty good down here, Dave. Yeah. And then,
is he back as a crypto maxi again?
Oh, he loves it. He's back. He's back short. He's back longing and shorting stuff. I saw he's even started embracing leverage a bit. I've seen him do a few 30x trades now.
See, I done all of mine when I was scalping last week. I am the degenerate self. I do everything on 100x.
Yeah, I had.
Not because I'm being particularly fancy or I'm only doing one trade at a time. I can't.
Yeah.
I know where my liquidation point is, and it's within my stop loss, so I don't care.
Yeah. I've been the same. For me, if you measure out the position, so like some of my Solana shorts, the Scout ones, I did them on weeks, only because Evan/Chad wanted me to put some volume for his link, so they keep him happy, and they do 400x, but leverage is just a figment of the imagination. But
well, people go, if I short at 10x, that means my gains are going to be 10 times as big, and it's like,
it's like measure your position, and it's the same. Measure your position.
How much capital you're using. That's all it is.
And people, and obviously there's certain calculators. Do you do it inside TradingView to calculate, or do you use our friend's website?
I use literally whatever's on the exchange. I just calculate it and go, right, I want to buy here, sell here, stop loss there. How much am I willing to lose in my stop loss? And that's it.
You can do it inside here. I didn't realise. But if you get this up, you can
put all your account size and stuff like that,
Yeah, you can put your information straight in.
Yeah, I don't use Hot. Just shows what a technical retard I am.
That's the beauty about TradingView. Is like you'll use TradingView for most of your day, and you'll still be finding new features in it.
Yes, yeah, there's loads. I mean, I know people use the object trees and do because if I'm doing a Bitcoin chart, if I want to do, I think I have 7, maybe 8 different variations of the Bitcoin chart, depending on what information I want on there. And I know some people have the same broker or whatever it may be for all of it, and then you can do different versions of the chart under the same ticker. And I just haven't got the ability to even,
I didn't know that. I might have to have a look, because at the moment I've just got all of these.
Yeah, that's what I end up doing.
I hate switching between them, because then you just have different looking candles.
Yes, yeah. So for the most part, I mean, for the macro, I look back at just the crypto wide one, whatever it's called.
Total.
The only if you do Bitcoin USD.
Oh yeah. The index version.
Yeah, basically, yeah, that
This
one,
index.
the spot crypto one, the one below that.
That
That
one.
one,
Yeah.
I'll just use that because it goes back furthest. But
That's still got the chart that the nice drawing we
don't.
had out. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
I'm with
breakout.
And look at the retest.
Exactly.
Sometimes it works. It's they've got funny. Someone messaged me last week and went, "I'm thinking of shorting AVAX," and
Brave.
and I was like, "I don't think you should do it." I think they were doing it from 20.
Oh, this is market cap.
So I will flick you over my AVAX chart just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, because I'm currently long, and my TP on AVAX is around here. I'm aiming for a retest of here. I was long from here and here, aiming for here.
Yeah, I'll how do I share my screen? I'll share my screen, then I'll need to bounce in a minute because I've got some bits and pieces there. So let me know if the screen works.
There we are.
So look at this for an entry from the liquidity box. Perfect. Utter perfection. And obviously we was doing a similar one Solana the other day. But I think he was looking to short from here somewhere. And I was like, no.
No, wait for that push up.
And then he was like, how did you do that? So I can't tell you. Magic. Not giving away all my secrets. But it is to do with something that looks a bit left.
Yeah.
I'll titillate. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
See? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, damn. But yeah, it was just, again, if you know where to look on charts and know how price works, it's actually not that difficult.
No.
If you're looking at things on the 2-minute chart or 1 minute or 30,
zoom out.
You're not going to see the level of detail that you need to see.
No, exactly.
And it took me a long while to realise such things, but I got there eventually. And then it becomes because the invalidations are so easy on them kind of time frames.
Yeah.
You just go, right, as soon as it's at this point, if it closes daily above this or weekly or whatever it may be, you just cut the trades. And
ruthlessness is what you need.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll wrap it up there because I know you got to bounce and the sun's just come out, so I might go for a little jog. So take care.
As always, Wiz.
Yeah, hopefully when we speak again, everything's gone a little bit more parabolic. Touch wood.
Well, I will in our little separate chat. I've sent you that article. I will share the total chart again, and we'll see if it comes to, because it's basically do or die time.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes to fruition.
Right, on that note, my doorbell's ringing. I've got to go.
Right, take care.
See you later.